Bucky's Basement. Bucky's Basement.
Where are we? In hell? We're live in hell.
We are live with Bucky's Basement. I'm Bucky, and as always, in the basement with me today, I have Old Boy.
I'm here.
And Juicebox.
Sarge.
And this week, we are reviewing the 2006 movie World Trade Center for our series of Casting Cage. We are reviewing movies in chronological order. We are up to, is this 40?
38?
You seemed questionable on that, and we often argue about this at the beginning of the episode. 38, 39, 40 doesn't matter. We got to go to 127, and our mission is to get to 127. Before we review this week's episode, we want to let you know that we had a blast at our first ever Nick Cage night.
Hell yeah.
Oh, man.
It was fun.
Champagne jam.
Trivia, Mandy, you guys,
Topless
party.
chicks.
Like, if you were out there, we want to thank you for coming. We hope you had a blast. We're going to do many more of those. But you are here because you were there and you were like, God damn, Bucky's Basement Podcast can really put on a party. So now I want to go listen to the episodes, but I don't want to go back. I want to start exactly where we are in real time. And that is 2006's World Trade Center.
Womp womp.
What you might want to do is go back.
Go
way back.
But don't go back. There's no reason to meditate on this or think back on it. It was a tragic time. It was one of the probably, honestly, in our lifetimes, besides this pandemic that just happened, is probably the biggest event that happened, like Cold War maybe, but we were kids.
100%. It was televised on TV and shown over and over and over again for years.
Years, dude.
Years. And this was in September 11th, 2001.
Yep.
And now we are in 2000.
Oh, that's what we were talking about?
No, now we are in 2006. So 5 years later, they just a little known director named Oliver Stone decided to direct a movie called World Trade Center, starring the wonderful and the reason we're here, Nicolas Cage, obviously.
Right.
But only 5 years later. But
it kind of follows that trend of Nick Cage is always at a movie 5 years after something that was popular.
That is very true. I will give you that point. But as an epic event, as a world event, it seems too soon, even 5 years. You got to think, they're still making movies about shit that happened in the 60s and 50s, and, it just came out with the atomic bomb guy.
They haven't made a Katrina movie that I know of, right?
There's
documentaries, and, Treme was about, life after Katrina, right?
Yeah.
Right? Or was Treme before Katrina? Or did it take place before Katrina?
It had to be after, I think.
It was after, but do you think they're following the trend of World Trade Center?
I feel like that's a debate that we could talk about for hours, of capitalizing on, tragedy, disaster and tragedy just for money to tell a story or whatever.
Yeah.
It's propaganda.
It is. All right, so we're here to review 2006's World Trade Center. It has a 66% on Rotten Tomatoes. It has a 6 out of 10 on IMDb. And before we get into some other things about the movie, I want to go ahead and get the director out there. You guys know him. I just said it. Oliver Stone. Huge movie director, and this is we're following a trend, right? We've had a couple of movies in a row where we're dealing with kind of bigger name directors who have done a lot of things, but they aren't necessarily that big, I guess. Oliver Stone, you know his name, but do you remember?
Martin Scorsese's pretty unknown at this time, right?
No. Are you kidding me? So anyway, if you don't know Oliver Stone's work, let me roll through it for you because it's a lot. Platoon, JFK, Natural Born Killers, Born on the 4th of July, Wall Street, The Doors, Any Given Sunday, Nixon, Wall Street 2, Scarface, W, Conan the Barbarian, People vs. Larry Flint, Patriot Games, Blue Steel, Joy Luck Club.
I don't think he did Scarface, right?
No, that's Brian De Palma.
Sorry.
And Joy Luck Club?
He must have written those two. He's credited for both of those movies.
You need to
go look at it.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I don't know. I was looking at his list and I was like, some of his movies kind of suck. Like Natural Born Killers, like I kind of liked it when I was like 16 or whatever, but like that movie is a bad movie. Like, and it was so bad, Quentin Tarantino took his name off like the script that he wrote. Like,
I've never seen that movie not on drugs, and every time I watch it on drugs, it's amazing.
Okay. Well, it's, if you're not on drugs, it's not amazing.
Wall Street?
No, Wall Street was a good movie too. Like we were talking, old boy and I were talking about it the other night. U-Turn. Like I don't know if you remember that. Like that was like, I love that movie back in the day. Same. And then I was thinking about, it, I was like, man, J-Lo's just like having like gratuitous sex in that movie. So it's like, maybe is that what I liked
it was? Yeah.
So I don't know. I haven't seen it in a long time. Anyway, he's done some awesome movies. He's done some great movies, but he's also done some movies that's like, ugh, and
Doors.
Yeah.
Kind of like Natural Born Killers. Doors and that had kind of the same theme. It's like the weird shit happening, and then like trying to piece together a story, but you just put the Indian.
Did you say W? He did W. That movie was fucking really bad. That was
Josh Brolin.
I don't care, man. It was a bad movie.
He couldn't even save it. But you do know what Oliver Stone wrote, right?
What?
One of my favorite movies of all time.
Conan.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I just said that.
Did you?
I said Conan the Barbarian.
All right, he didn't direct it.
Correct. He wrote it. Sorry, this is what he was credited for.
Just credited.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm looking up this Joy Luck Club. I just feel that's not right.
I want you to continue looking it up.
I'm going to.
The People versus Larry Flint, Any Given Sunday, awesome movies. You know, rewatchable movies in my opinion.
Some.
I don't know that they're rewatchable. That's the thing. I guess that's the thing for me. It's like his movies were good when I saw them in a time and place, but then a lot of times I've gone back to his movies. I've been like,
Yeah, Born on the 4th of July. I don't remember. I mean, I know I've seen that movie. I don't want to ever go back and see that.
Tom Cruise, like young Tom Cruise too.
Dude, could you do that again for the
Yeah, young Tom Cruise. Speaking of that, because what he was asking me to do, you can actually see on YouTube if you're listening to us on your favorite podcast network. Each and every week we are on YouTube. You can watch these episodes or just kind of put your phone up next to your computer. You don't even have to look at us. You can look down when we're laughing or you think something's interesting. We add clips to these things. Our basement is decorated beautifully. We do this each and every week. Anyway,
man, when I was editing it, obviously, like last week or the last episode that we did with Shane, I guess was last.
Yeah, our fast pitch episode.
And I was like, man, I have bad posture. I need to be like more mindful of like sitting properly in a seat or like sitting back or something. I was like, I was hunchback in that episode. Anyway,
I'm awful.
Sure. All right, so let's
tune in for that.
Let's get into World Trade Center. Before we can get into the cast of the movie, we want to find out what else was in the theaters. What could you have gone to see in 2006?
August 9th.
What could you have walked down the hallway and seen instead of World Trade Center?
Yeah.
Why would you have gone to see World Trade Center?
To get bummed out.
Yeah.
So if you didn't want to get bummed out, you could have gone to see the #1 movie at the time, which was Talladega Nights.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
All right. And then actually #2 in that weekend was World Trade Center. #3 was a movie called Barnyard. It was an animated film or a CGI film. I didn't even look it up, but it
never heard of it.
Zero bells. #4, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest.
Is that like 3?
Maybe 2.
4?
Maybe
2?
Maybe 2.
Okay.
#5 is Miami Vice. I think that was a reboot with maybe Jamie Foxx.
Yes.
And
yes. Don Johnson.
Yeah, and he reprises his role as the white cop. All right, John Tucker Must Die, The Descent. I know we saw that in theaters.
We saw it in the theaters. That movie was awesome
That movie was awesome. Monster House, Ant Bully, which is a Nick Cage movie.
Correct.
Which we skipped. Devil Wears Prada, Lady in the Water, and Night Listener are among the movies.
And when was this? August
9th. 2006.
So we're kind of approaching like into the summer, going into fall movies, trying to ramp up some horror stuff.
I guess, man.
But this is horror enough because it's real life and it actually happened. So let's get into it. The cast in this movie, obviously we're here each and every week for the wonderful, the magnificent, the beautiful Nicolas Cage. He plays John McLaughlin in this movie. John McLaughlin is a 20-something-year-old vet of the New York Police Department.
Right. He's a 20-something-year vet, not year-old vet, right?
Right. Sorry, anyway. Not year-old. He's a 20-year vet in the New York Police Department.
And he worked during the first World Trade Center bombing in 1993 or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
True life character.
Yeah. He's got a wife. He's got 4 kids. Then we got Michael Pena is in this movie. Pena, however you want to say it. Pena. He plays Will Humino. He is a rookie cop on the force, and he's eager to show himself and prove himself in this movie. Maggie Gyllenhaal, she plays Allison, which is Will Humino's wife in this movie. Michael Shannon plays Marine Dave Carnes.
Right. Also another true character.
Very young Michael Shannon.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked to see that dude in this.
I was too. He's one of my favorite actors out of there.
We know.
Or out there. We got Maria Bello plays Donna, and I just wrote Sarge's wife.
I had to look her up because I was like, she looks familiar, but you know what?
Very familiar.
You know what she's in? Coyote Ugly, and she's the
She's
the old coyote lady.
Yeah, she's the bar owner.
She's the She's the one that's like the the one that's been.
I knew I'd seen her in something before.
Put up wet. Yeah.
And that was very very impactful as a teenager. Watching that movie. All right, we got Jon Bernthal. He plays Christopher, one of the proud cops in this movie. Not in it for very long, and we're going to explain why. He's young in this. Nobody knew who Jon Bernthal was. This is before
up and coming.
What was Punisher days? It's before Walking Dead days. It's like,
so I'm always like, oh man, Jon Bernthal, I like that guy, and then I'm like,
what's he?
He's kind of the same guy in every single movie. Like everything, every single character is just the same guy. Even in Wolf of Wall Street, he was still just that angry, rough character, but he was just a salesman.
That is true.
Dang.
Yeah. He's been in a lot of things.
Yeah, I know he has. I can't even think of that many things I've seen him in, though.
He's on that meme. I don't know if you've been seeing that video over the last year. It's like they play the Kanye West piano song, and he's sitting at a dinner table, and he throws a fork at, what's his name from,
John Candy.
No.
John Cusack.
It's not a John.
Joan Cusack.
It's not a Joan either.
Let's just move on.
Yeah. All right. Up next in this movie is Jay Hernandez. He plays Dominic. Jay Hernandez, for me, is most widely known. He was in the movie Friday Night Lights. I think he was a running back or one of the receivers in that movie.
I never saw that movie, so that dude did not register to me at all.
No clue.
He's been in something else. I can't pinpoint it. Steven Dorff is in this movie.
Briefly, yeah.
Yeah, briefly. Plays a firefighter, at the end. Danny Nucci, also firefighter. Yep. And then you get a whole bunch of people that you've seen before, but you don't really remember, but you remember them in that one thing or that TV show or something. And it's a lot of people just wanted to be in this movie, I feel like. A lot of actors and actresses were like, hey, because there's some obscure things going on in this movie.
Yeah, dude, I don't know if you guys noticed it. I saw it. I had couldn't put my finger on it. I watched this movie 3 times. I hate to say, but I was watching, and Will's mom is down praying in the kitchen at one point, and she looks back and has this scared look on her face, and that look was triggering to me. I was like, where did I know her from? Where do I know her from? So I went and looked it up, and she was in the Turn Down for What video by Lil Jon and DJ Snake. She's laid with the big bouncing boobs. I
had to go back and watch it.
I was just like, damn.
Yeah, there are a ton of actors in this movie. It seems like they all wanted to be in it. We can't credit all of them because we have got a podcast to do. In order to get through World Trade Center, which is not going to be easy for us, we have to go through the plot. But before we can go through the plot, we have to do a little segment on Bucky's Basement we like to call...
Plot by Juice Box.
Okay, so the simple plot on IMDb is 2 Port Authority police officers become trapped under the rubble of the World Trade Center. Pretty straightforward.
It's very straight. The whole movie.
I mean, that's it.
So I kind of felt like this movie, this movie was definitely about John and Will. Like they were the main characters, like getting them rescued. But I felt like it was also about a lot of other people that were like kind of having some side redemption. So my plot kind of follows those lines. Jim met the girl of his dreams when he was 19, working in the night shift at a Target. One fateful evening, a lockdown in the store sparked a short-lived love affair with Josie, a girl who had grown up surrounded by money. Jim couldn't compare with that kind of lifestyle, and when it ended, he swore he would never be poor again. But what could a janitor with no real skills do to make a living? His answer, unfortunately, was drugs. The problem was, he had no idea how to break into that world, until one night at a bar, he met a man who introduced himself as Marvin. Jim was sure his real name wasn't Marvin, so he said his name was Brett. Marvin promised him a chance to make some fast cash, and Jim, desperate, agreed. It all went sideways. Instead of easy money, Jim found himself staring down at the barrel of 2 guns. His reckless friend tried to take out the hitman and was killed instantly. The men collected their briefcase and spared Jim's life. To Jim, that mercy felt like a sign, an opportunity to turn things around. You guys still with me?
Oh, yeah.
Not at all.
Oh, yeah, I'm with
He trained as a paramedic and proved himself to be a natural, saving lives and finding a purpose. But the shadows of that night never left him. Haunted by his friend's death, Jim numbed the memories with drugs and alcohol. Eventually, the habit cost him his career. He drifted from job to job, slipping deeper into addiction. 2 years later, on an ordinary Tuesday morning, Jim sat at a bar, nursing his first drink of the day. He raised the glass to his lips, then froze as the television above showed the first tower collapsing. Slowly, he set the drink down. For the first time in years, his path was clear. People were going to need help, and he had nothing left to lose.
All right, fill me in, because I think I got the World Trade Center part of that.
You think?
I don't know if anybody got it.
There's Pulp Fiction in there.
That is the story of Brett, the guy from Pulp Fiction.
Look at the big brain on Brett.
Oh, shit.
He was in a movie called Opportunity Knocks.
He was, yeah.
Where he got locked in a Target with, oh, God, what's her name? I can't even think of her name now.
Man, it sounds real familiar. I'm not sure I've seen it, but that... All right,
holy shit, he is the paramedic in
and
this.
He is the paramedic,
right.
And he said he fell on some hard times and had some problems, but he was trying to redeem himself.
Oh, my God. This is the universe of Nick Cage.
Pretty good.
Sorry. I wrote that.
That's actually amazing.
Way too late last night and way too of a sleepy haze. So I apologize to anybody listening to all that.
That is actually incredible. And that is our plot.
It went kind of fast pitch.
Yeah.
Fast pitch.
Also went universe. So that is our plot by Juicebox for World Trade Center. Now it is time to get into the plot. Actually, before we get into the plot, we have to do one little segment here. It's called Bucky's Establishing Shot. And I wrote, do we even need one on this movie? Before it even started, like, we know where it's at. We know what's going on. And we get, I was like, do we even need an establishing shot? But we get 1,000 of them.
You get a lot.
Like right off the bat, we open the movie with Sarge.
See, I felt the establishing shot was that alarm clock switching from 3:29 to 3:30.
That's what I thought.
Well,
because they do call back to that later in the movie.
They do call back to that. You're absolutely right. But so I wrote it. We open with Sarge getting ready for work. He's waking up early. We know what's going on. He's checking in on the kids, and then he has to drive.
Do you guys check on the kids before you leave the?
No,
every
never.
morning.
I mean, I'm awake. I'm getting my kids ready for school.
Like, right, but if you had to head out early, do you always go in there and check on your kids?
No, I've never have.
Same. All right. I was just making sure I'm not like a bad dad.
Yeah, no. Generally, if I have to go to work early, I'm like trying to duck out as quietly as possible, to like not cause any ruckus.
Exactly.
Look, we've seen tons of movies where people check on their kids when they get home. Because they're already asleep, right? They're getting home late. Never seen a movie where they check on their kids before they go to work.
And I do check on my kids sometimes. Like if I get home, if I've been like out of town or something, I do. I do kind of do that.
Sure.
Anyway,
all right. So,
dude, I just want to say, these fucking few opening scenes here are painful. Like, this shit is so like cliche and just so cheesy. Every single scene, and that song that's playing over. Who'd you say it was? Brooks and Dunn.
Yeah, I was about to say. Then the next thing we get is Michael Pena's opening with. Like, he's coming out of his house, he's getting in his truck, he's driving into New York City.
Yeah.
And the song, the Brooks and Dunn song comes on. It's like, sun coming up over New York City. And we're like, dude, why would you use that song?
I, like, cringed out of my clothes when that happened.
Yeah,
that was, like,
man.
so, it was just like, are you serious, man?
Yep.
Right.
We learned that Michael Pena is playing Will Jimeno. He's the rookie cop, right? So we got the Sarge coming in, we got Michael Pena coming in, and then we get like the thing that comes up on the screen. It's like September 11th, 2001, and like we know, like we know,
we understand what this movie is.
Yeah. Right. Then we get like the beat cops, and like they're all like enjoying each other, and they go in, and then John, who's Sarge, we're gonna call him Sarge this entire podcast. We find out he's the boss, right? He's giving out daily instructions. You go here, you go here, you go here. Then we get Will is working the beat. It's all really quick, but like when Will is
super quick.
Yeah, when Will is working the beat, that's the first time we get a glimpse of what's gonna happen, which is that plane shadow scene,
right?
And you're like, dude, that's kind of like, I don't know about you guys, like, you guys like film and everything, but I'm like, it's kind of like unnerving the way they did that, and how close it was, and how nobody like gave a fuck, and how he looked at it, it was like, oh, okay, and then turned around. And
yeah, I mean, that was mimicking like an actual shot. I feel like that was on like the news or something that happened of one of the planes.
It did, like, it felt like some kind of iconic shot.
And then that you hear the boom noise, and you still get the shot of everybody outside, and nobody really cares about it. And then you get a bunch of shots of people inside, and they're not too worried. But then it's like one shot, next shot, and then the next shot they get even more worried, and then like you're starting to see like the progression of it.
Yeah. I mean, I think there was a lot of confusion that day of what like happened at all initially. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I heard loud noises all the time, and I'm like, all right, what was that?
We live close to train tracks, and I feel like you hear like train cars like bumping it, like connecting and bumping into each other. Sometimes it's like that is loud as shit.
Exactly.
There's a dumpster that like they slammed out and like I swear push it like 25 feet at some shopping center up in here. So it's just like.
Yeah,
and you're just like, whatever. That could be something like that could be a garbage truck crashing into God knows what. And you're just like, whatever.
I guess that's true.
Not to trivialize it.
No. So this happens. The boom happens. The first towers hit in the movie, and they call all the cops back in, and they're like, "Hey, come back in and watch this TV because we have no idea what to do. We have no idea what's going on." And then John McLaughlin, we find out, he's worked the towers before. As Juicebox said, there was a bombing in 1993 in the lobby of the World Trade Center. Obviously,
he's got experience.
True event. He's got experience. So then let's round up a bunch of dudes and go downtown and see what we can do. Right? Why are they busing the cops in?
Probably the quickest way to get a bunch of people.
Agreed, but it just happened, and like immediately.
What are you suggesting, like a trolley?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably like like you said, the quickest way to get them down there.
How would you do it?
Cop cars.
And okay, so
then you'd create traffic.
There was no traffic. Like if you watch the whole thing going from there to the World Trade Center in the movie,
they may need clear streets as much as possible.
True.
So they're like, all right, we can get 30 people on one bus, or we can take 10 cars.
Who was the genius that ran off and said, "Everybody, get off this bus right now. We got to take a bunch of cops downtown." It was a good that's
probably the police.
That's a smart move, right? Anyway, so they're on the bus. They're driving downtown. Man, scene where they drive by someone who's jumped, and they see everybody surrounding that person.
Was it somebody that had jumped, or was it just somebody who had a heart attack or something?
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Somebody that had a heart attack?
No, yeah, I think it was somebody that was having some kind of medical condition.
Dude, I was gonna say literally, maybe 45 seconds later they get off that bus and they look up and somebody's jumping out of the building. So I just assumed that they were kind of close to it. They might have taken a left. I don't know. Why would somebody have a heart attack?
Excuse me. I mean, this is a stressful day. This is a
agree.
stressful day for people that weren't even there.
But at this point in the movie, they're on the bus and they have not encountered or seen anybody who's been near the World Trade Center yet. They're still heading downtown.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And that's kind of how a big, like, that's what's crazy about a big city is you can't see anything that's going on. Like, even though the buildings are like some of the tallest in the world, they're obscured or blocked by other stuff. I do love that scene when they're on the bus, though, when he's like,
"Hey, guys, you won't believe this. My wife says the other one got hit. The other tower.
How the hell the other tower get hit?
She was listening to Hot 97 and they said it."
What? Who gets their news from Hot 97?
Anyway, all right, so they get downtown. They're like, you see the destruction, you see papers flying, you see everything. Then they're prepping to go up, right? So you've got this team led by Jon McLaughlin. You've got Himino, who's in it. You've got Dominic, who is played by Jay Hernandez. You got Jon Bernthal, who's like one of the proud cops. They're all ready, right? They're going in. They're going to go up and save people out of these towers, or at least help evacuate, right? They're prepping to go up, and then, dude, they leave Himino in the lobby, and the creepy part is that cop that comes to talk to him that's like disheveled, and he's like a tenured cop, and he's like, "Hey, you're gonna be all right." But he's like so like weirdly calm, but like you could tell he was in the shit.
Yeah, he probably is suffering from a concussion.
Yeah, seriously, it's like that lady that was in the car wreck in Wild at Heart that was just walking around like just being like kind of calm and just like kind of but. So probably like a traumatic head injury or something.
Yeah. Then he walks out. The team comes back down, and then shit. Like they're standing there. They've got air tanks. They've got gear. They're ready to go up, and then all of a sudden, the tower collapses. And like,
it's wild how they got like 10 tanks of oxygen or something like that because they're like, we're gonna need all this to go up the stairs. Like, that was insane.
But like the way that the shot of the collapse is happening. It's shaky. It gets a little blurry. There's some cool things coming in from the side, but when he's like, "Run!" like it gets
like,
really
get to the elevator shaft or whatever.
Right. And they're in a corridor. They're not in either tower, right? They're in a corridor
in between them.
In between them, right? Yeah. So they're running for it, which is just wild. I didn't go back and watch, but like. Did they fall at the same time?
No. Oh, no.
It was one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other one was
also, history will tell you that. One fell.
Right.
And then the other one fell like 30 minutes later.
Was it that quick? Yeah, I was thinking it was pretty quick.
So I feel like that plays out in the movie, too.
Yeah, it does when they're underground. But the collapse is insane. So he's like, run to the elevator shaft. They go get in the elevator shaft. And then the long blank screen after the drop.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm saying long. It was about 3 to 4 seconds. But it was silent, quiet, and a blank screen.
I mean, after that chaos, it was long enough to be effective.
Yeah. It was long enough to be effective. Then we come back up. Screen comes back up. We're underground. We've got 2 trapped and 1 free. So we've got McLaughlin and Himino. They're both trapped by like big boulders or rocks or whatever, but they're still alive. And then we've got Dominic, played by Jay Hernandez, who's free.
And I hate to say it, but for me, this is where the movie starts to fall apart. Like, I know that I'm not trying to discount these people's story at all. Like, I cannot imagine like what they went through and like going into like running into the tower when your life is on the line. I'm not trying to discount that at all. I just feel like the way that this movie is done and this story is told from this point on is just like it's below par, and it's just, I don't know, it's weird.
I agree. I mean, it's a tremendous like story of survival, but it's the movie's not done well. Right, like, it's not
well,
movie.
and there's other stuff too. Like we can talk about it more, I guess. But it feels like there was a lot of padding added to the movie too. You know, it was like
to make it,
to make it a movie, and then it was just like so much like extra dramatic shit. Like I'm sorry. Continue on. Like
no,
they're trying.
I want you. I'd like you for you to elaborate.
Okay. Well, like it just. I can't say. I mean, maybe all this crazy shit did happen, but it's just like the building collapses. Dominic like gets crushed and dies or whatever.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't get crushed till the second building. He's free after the first building collapses because he's trying to help them.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, no, it's not even the second building, I think, that collapses because that happens like later on when the like shit collapses and they can like start to see like.
No, that's the third building that collapsed. So that was Tower 7 that collapsed. So
But then there was something after that, I felt like also.
So
shit,
when the
okay.
first building collapses and all the dust settles, right, they're yelling, "Who's free? Who's or
Right.
sound off?" That's also
Right.
Nick Cage, worst accent I've almost heard in a movie so far. I know we've gone through some pretty bad accents.
I heard he went to New York for 2 weeks to perfect the accent.
This is a bad accent, and it reminded me of something, and I still can't put my. I've watched this movie 3 times. I'm like, I can't. I mean, it's on the tip of my tongue what he sounds like.
It's like his accent in something else. It's like his accent in like Kiss of Death or something. Like it's another like thick.
Yeah. Northeastern.
Northeastern accent.
Yeah, dude.
But if you remember, the first tower collapses. They're underground. We've got Hamino and McLaughlin trapped. We've got
The other guy's free.
We got Dominic free, and then he's trying to help him, but you can't pull up the boulders that are on, Hamino, right?
Yeah, it's too heavy.
played by Michael Pena. And
Pena's
so
legs,
he's like worried. He's like, I'm going to go up and get something. And they're like, no, don't do that. And then all of a sudden, like the second tower collapses, you hear
So
a massive
that's
rumble, and that comes by and it crushes him. And
Okay.
then he pulls his gun out and kills himself, which is fucking crazy.
So is that what happened?
I don't think that's what happened.
I've rewound that part so many times. Like he doesn't like they don't show that. Like
He's pointed up.
yeah.
But
Right.
it might have hit a rock and come back down because he's dead. Like,
No, I understand
I
that.
think
I was just curious if like since this was like a PG-13 movie, then they like were trying to that was like an edit or like a choice that they made to like get into the
imply it without
to
showing
make,
it.
Yeah, to not make it R-rated or whatever.
Well,
I didn't get
that's what I got.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm not discounting that. I'm just saying that's not what they showed. So I was just like, I was
Right.
confused if that's what they were trying to apply, or if he was just like dying and his last thing was like he like
Shot a gun.
squeezed the trigger on his gun.
That's the way I took it.
Maybe that was it too.
Yeah, that's the way I took
Regardless, he drops the gun and it comes back into play in a big
It
way.
does come back into play, which is crazy. So after this happens, we get a zoom up shot of the wreckage above ground, and then that's a crazy shot. Like it comes up through the wreckage and then goes straight up, and like you see
The
like
city view,
the massive amounts of like what's
Damage.
going on, and like
Yeah.
how can you find somebody in all this
Yeah.
smoke and everything or whatever. And then you get the scenes of like everybody around the world watching this event,
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's kind of like it reminds me of that scene, "You're Gonna Hate Me," in Armageddon when they're all like praying that these dudes are gonna save the world from this meteor that's coming towards Earth. So they're all watching around the world and they're like whatever, same kind of thing.
Same deal. I mean, everybody. If you were alive, and there's a TV,
You were
near
watching
you,
it.
You were watching this.
I mean, everybody. We don't even need to get into it. We remember
Did
where
Armageddon predict 9/11?
it's where we were.
Where were you?
I don't want to get in like this. This is going to turn into a big
No,
story. I was
no.
in college. I was in my apartment. I was asleep. Somebody woke me up. I watched TV all day. Got high. Didn't go to class.
I mean, essentially the same.
Yeah.
I did a very similar thing.
My
also.
favorite part about 9/11, and I hate to say this, is when I was watching that TV, right next to the towers, there was a Verizon wireless building, and I was like 3 months behind on my cell phone bill. And I was like, dude, if this building and this is my thought process, it's like if this building goes down, I might not have to pay my cell phone bill.
Very Fight Club.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
I love it.
It was a dumb thought by a young child. I still have them, but I'm a lot older and wiser now. Anyway, so back to the movie. Now what we're doing is we zoom up. Everybody's watching. Now let's meet the other half of this movie, the wives.
Right.
So Maggie Gyllenhaal, pregnant. She is the wife of Hamino. Then we get Maria Bello, who's Donna. She's the wife of Sarge.
Sarge, yeah.
Sarge, and she's with the other women who obviously have husbands or whatever.
Yeah, down there.
Right?
Yeah.
So we're just meeting them, and we're like, oh, shit, this happened. They could be down there. They might not be down there. They might be saving lives. They might not be. We don't know what's going on. And then we're back to Buried Alive with Nick Cage and Michael Pena. And this is where some shit gets crazy in the movie.
Yeah.
This is where, like, with the McLaughlin, with Nick Cage just yelling and Michael Pena, like, yelling, I was like, what the fuck? And I could understand this, right? I'd be claustrophobic.
Yeah,
I'd be underground. But Sarge, who's supposed to be like this composed, poised dude, like loses his shit. And he just starts yelling.
Yeah, this is a situation that nobody is
because Pena's like, what the fuck's going on? I need answers, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, and I'm like, dude, this is kind of intense.
You can't move your legs, dude.
Yeah, that's what he said. He's like freaking out because his legs were pinned together or whatever he said.
Yeah.
Was this was this when the fireballs were shooting through?
It's like right after that. Like he was like,
I got burned. I got burned. My skin is burning. Like
he starts screaming, and then the fire breaks out, and he's like, "Where's that fire coming from? Where's that fire?" And he's like, "I don't know." And then the gun starts shooting off, and it's like all that shit happens like at the same time. It's like
that is wild.
Maybe that happened. I don't know. I should do more research into it, but it's just like this is.
So they're underground freaking out, but we got to make up more of this movie. We got to give more to you. So let's bring in Michael Shannon, who plays an ex-Marine who now apparently has a desk job or like an office job.
This motherfucker is like works in like finance. I looked him up. He was like some kind of like financial guy.
Some dude.
Yeah.
But
he had been in like in the Marines or whatever.
Watching the TV, like...
stands up, this country's at war. And it just like cuts to, he walks out of the scene.
It's like none of you know it yet, but this country's at war. And I'm like, damn, he works an office job. Then he goes to a church to pray about it. Then he goes back to the Marines.
Can we talk about the establishing church shot?
Yes.
Book of Revelations opened up like right there.
Revelations, then the pan up to the cross, then like and my favorite thing is like then he goes and gets a haircut. Like, I mean, it is like fucking.
Nobody's gonna believe he's a Marine unless he gets the haircut,
right?
Yeah,
but this, okay, like I get it. I don't get it. But I kind of get it. Like, but you're like not in the military anymore.
No,
but you're just like, fuck it. I'm gonna go get the military haircut, put my uniform back on, march right down into fucking ground zero, demand that everybody calls me staff sergeant,
and just walk straight through the cops.
Yeah, straight.
No ID, no anything.
It was just like U.S. Marines, and the cops were like, "All right."
Do you think that's what it was like?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously it was because that dude's story is like true. That was a real guy.
At one point, they called off the search, and he just like walked right by them when they were all walking away. It was like, dude. Like, is that a legal thing? Because, like, that's a safety issue, I feel like. But
I mean, he found, like, other people up in the shit, too, when he was, like, not supposed to be in there. So, I mean, I guess it was just like, hey, everybody get out. And then if people wanted to go fucking in there, then they would, like, whatever. Yep. But it does seem like it would just be like, don't go in there, you idiot. You might fuck something up. Like, you might make more shit cave in or whatever.
Imagine all the shit everybody was breathing in, like, asbestos and all the shit, dude.
So that was another thing I was like wondering about. Like, both these dudes in this movie are still alive. I mean, granted, they have had health issues and stuff, but like they're still alive. But yeah, the shit that they breathed in, like in that rubble, dude. And like
it was disgusting.
All those other people
watching
just
Michael Pena's mouth like during the second half of this movie, you're like, oh my, like,
oh dude, when they're cleaning it out at the end, just like sucking rocks out of it,
gravel out of his mouth. Yeah, dude.
But yeah, Michael Shannon walks through the fucking like wall of smoke, just like disappears into it, no big deal, and is just like trudging around. He doesn't have a helmet on. He just like doesn't have a shit. He's got like a bag of gauze or something.
Yeah, I wrote Michael Shannon is in fucking G.I. Joe mode.
Clearly.
I was there for everything that he was doing because for me, he was like the highlight of this movie.
Sure.
Same, dude.
All right, so let's get back to the movie. This is what we're going to get, and we're going to move through this pretty quickly. But in this part of the movie, which is the meat of the movie, what you're going to get is you're going back to the wives' experience, right?
Grief.
You got Maggie Gyllenhaal,
Worry.
Maggie Gyllenhaal, Maria Bello, and like wondering, are they okay? Are they not okay? Let's talk to our kids about it. Let's try to figure this out.
Yeah, everybody.
I get that. Yeah. And then we go,
Can I just say, like, Maggie Gyllenhaal kills it. Like, she is awesome in this movie,
does good.
I feel like.
Yeah. Then we go back underground with Sarge and Hamino. It's like you go wives, underground, and then Michael Shannon's story, and then like flashbacks.
Yeah.
And those are the four like main things that they just keep going back and forth for. So I got back underground with Sarge and Hamino. Hamino figures out the pulling the pipe thing, which looks excruciating at first, and then he comes back around like later on.
Because it's making noise, right? And he's just trying to make noise, but it's also like pouring water in his mouth, dirty water.
Yeah. You get a lot of flashbacks with Sarge and like him and his wife not really liking each other, but like putting it together and like learning to live together. So you get the unexpected pregnancy. You get like the I don't know what
these are everyday. They're trying to paint an everyday picture.
They're building out the story to make this a movie.
To make you care. Yeah.
And then I wrote like underground convo, flashback, family, repeat. So
that's it.
Yep.
I will say, mixed up in that rinse and repeat cycle, there was the scene where it's like Cage's son is like in the house. And like he's like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
Oh yeah.
And he's like, we got to go find him. Like, what are we doing? We got to go do it. And I was just like, that scene kind of got me a little bit. Like that, just fucking young kid. Like, what the fuck? Like, why aren't we out there just like trying to find my dad? Like, quit fucking around.
But he didn't understand.
No, I know because he's like a young kid. But to him, it was just like, he would go out there and try to find us. Why wouldn't we try to go find him?
Exactly.
It's basically like his mindset.
You get another flashback, the naming the baby, the Olivia. Like, this is where Maggie Gyllenhaal kills at the drugstore scene. Then we get the Jesus thing. And I want to bring this up. Like Hamino passes out. Jesus is in this like dream, and he's got a like literally 20-ounce bottle of water in his hand.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm like, I kind of get it, but wouldn't Jesus be carrying like a pot of water or something?
You're hallucinating.
Yeah.
I guess that's true. All right. Did y'all notice this scene? This is a great scene. Like everybody's flipping out. They don't know what's going on. They're still trapped underground. Nobody's found them. When Maggie Gyllenhaal goes out into the street and she just needs to be alone, and she's out in that street with the street lights on, right, walking down the street, did y'all notice every house on each side, the windows were flashing like the TV was on? And every window, up window, cool. Bottom window. It was
nice
a beautiful. Like if you go back and look at that, that's one of my favorite shots of the movie because it's like it just tells like everybody's watching TV,
right?
Like every room, every window has got that flashing going on.
That was the case. That was true to life.
Michael Shannon, back to him. He's searching alone. He gets a partner. He finds a dude out in the middle of the rubble, also doing what he's doing.
Right.
Flashlight just misses the guys. They're looking for him. They almost found him. Flashlight misses them. They can't, look around and shit because they're trapped by a big ass rock. Then the pipe saves them. The pipe I was talking about earlier. He pulls it. They find it, and then we get a lot of misinformation to the families, which I'm sure this happened, right?
Right.
But it's kind of fucked up. Like
it is. It doesn't make for a good movie, but it is fucked up.
Yeah, I made a note of that specifically too. It's like, why would you tell them immediately that you had found them and all this shit? Well, yeah, but even beyond that, like, just like they had just found them, like, why would you even say anything? Like,
because the families celebrate. And then they find out that they're still trapped, and it's like, dude, this is kind of like fucked up.
And they have no clue if they can rescue him.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's weird. One goes to the police station, one goes to the hospital, and it's just like they're all happy getting there, and then boom, like you're right back to where you were. And
right.
Yeah.
And I had read that the families were involved with the film, and they made it as true to what happened as possible. It just doesn't make for a good movie.
Yeah.
It's just and it's actually probably more true to life than most movies.
True.
And that's probably why it's not a good movie.
Let's talk about this, the rescue mission to get these guys out. Like, Michael Shannon finds him. I love the scene where he's calling Pittsburgh because he can't get through, but I thought no cell service worked. Like,
yeah, I didn't totally understand that either, because it seems like it would just be all the cell towers would be jammed like in New York there. But
yep. Anyway, that makes for a good movie. So he calls his sister in Pittsburgh. She gets through. They get a rescue team down there. Rescue mission crazy. Like, you got Steven Dorff going down there. You got the dude from...
They called it Steven Dorff.
Yeah.
I mean,
you got the dude from Pulp Fiction going down there. You got dudes, right?
Not being named.
Not being named.
But a lot of people from all over the country in real life went down there to help.
You see that at the end with the Brat guy, and he was originally watching it on
just
TV.
rescue
in
workers,
Milwaukee.
which is commendable. And
okay,
tremendous.
I was wondering that because I was like, why are they showing this dude earlier in the movie? Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
And at the end, he's making brats for all of them. Great part.
I missed that part.
Yeah. Anyway, so the rescue mission's great. They go down there. They get like a Jaws of life down there. They get some water. They get some air. They get Jimenez out. They get him out of this rock and out. And then they got, the emergency room scene is great. Maggie Gyllenhaal kills it in that. I think Pena kills it in that with the Olivia. I want to name her Olivia, whatever.
Yeah.
It's weird to watch him sucking black rocks out of his mouth.
Yeah.
But I thought that one was great. And then we're back to John, and he's hallucinating a conversation with his wife, like underground, and then they come back and they save him. And guys, I have to admit, why are there 2 tears coming out of my eyes right now?
Oh, no. What?
Yeah.
No.
This was on the 3rd time watching this.
Damn.
So
it got me
attached.
It got me on the 3rd time watching this movie.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
I already know your rating.
No, because you don't know my rating.
I do.
But he comes back into the hospital and he looks at her, and the tears were coming out before this, right? When they were talking to each other in the hallucination.
Right.
And then he's in the hospital and she comes over and he's like, "You kept me alive." I wish I could do the accent.
You just did.
You kept me alive.
You nailed it.
Kind of cool to see after a marriage just like on the rocks.
A real life marriage.
Yeah.
It's not a Hollywood marriage. They made it very real life, and I can appreciate that.
Yep. After this, we got.
I do wonder how much the family they actually shared and was like, yeah, we were actually having all these problems, or if they were like, hey, we want to write it like this, or are you cool with that? And they're like, yeah, where's our check?
Yeah, could be, yeah.
After this, we get the final scenes, right? We get the street sweepers, which is a cool scene, like cleaning up after the aftermath, like the beginning of the street sweepers.
Yeah, dude, I will say, those when Michael Shannon is going through some of those sets, that shit is pretty epic.
Yeah.
And it felt like it was, for the most part, a practical set. Like some of those giant fucking steel parts of the building and shit. Yep. I thought that was solid.
I do. When he showed up on the scene, I was like, hell yeah. And I'm not usually that dude, man, but I was proud of, a Marine or just being an American.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
It's the Ben Affleck Batman, right? Where the building's collapsing and he runs just into the giant cloud of smoke to rescue people. That's Michael Shannon, basically.
Yeah.
So after
he was in that movie too. I think he was collapsing the buildings.
That's a good point.
Let's go ahead and wrap this up. We get the end of the movie, which is 2 years later, a celebration of these 2 guys. And then you get, obviously, the end credits where you find out everybody happened. Like Michael Shannon does 2 tours in
Afghanistan.
And then you got, the cops. They're living in New York and New Jersey to this day.
Right.
You've got, all of... basically wrapping this thing up, telling us
giving
it's a
you
true
some
story.
Stats and
they obviously told that almost 3,000 people died in this.
How many were
rescue
workers?
Firefighters? How many were? and they were saved. And that's one of the coolest things I saw at the end. Those end credits is like there were like 20 people recovered from these rebels or from this rubble. Only 20,
which is wild.
And they were 18 and 19.
I know. Yeah, that
is. I thought McLaughlin was the last person they pulled out.
Second to last.
Second to last. Yeah, okay. Second to last.
Which is wild.
So last person didn't get a movie.
Anyway, that is our review of 2006's World Trade Center. Before we get out of here, we have a couple of different segments that we got to do. The first up is Movie Marriage. I'm going to do that this week.
Cool.
Movie Marriage is where we take two movies that we think kind of inspired this movie or that are similar to this movie that can give you an idea, if you haven't seen World Trade Center, what to look for. I'm going to go first this week. I've got Ryan Reynolds' Buried Alive movie and the movie Left Behind. I can't remember the Buried Alive movie from Ryan Reynolds. I'll look it up real quick.
Okay. I've not seen that movie. And then what's the other one?
Left Behind with Kirk Cameron.
Not the Nick Cage version?
No, not the Nick Cage version. The Kirk Cameron version in the 90s.
Okay.
The Ryan Reynolds Buried Alive movie is just called Buried, and it came out in 2010. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it.
I've not seen it.
You haven't seen it?
Clever name, though.
He's buried alive with nothing but like a lighter and a bottle of water, and like it's the whole movie. He's just in a casket, and it's
good
crazy.
For the marriage, but I'm not going to watch that movie.
Yeah, and I don't know, Left Behind, because this kind of like seemed like a Christian film to me, like a they were dialing, like they were dialing this thing in.
Christian movie?
Because it showed Jesus with the water bottle?
No. I just not that. I just feel like it, like he said, made for TV. Like it just
kind of in that Hallmark feel.
Yes, I didn't see Blockbuster here.
Okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm with it. Do you want to go?
I went 127 hours.
Okay.
You know, the whole trapped shit.
Like that.
And then I went Daylight, which is a Sylvester Stallone movie where he is trapped in the tunnel underneath it's the Holland Tunnel, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't see it, but I know the movie.
I think I've seen that.
I think it's got Sandra Bullock in it, maybe.
Maybe I did see it.
I could be wrong about that, but I feel like it does.
I've seen her whole catalog. I did another disaster movie, The Towering Inferno. And and I did The Weatherman because the characters I just didn't care much about, or there wasn't enough of them for me to get into. It lacks story to me.
Sure.
And I get it. This is a tragic event. I don't want anybody to come away of this like thinking I'm pissing on the
No, but you're right. That's exactly it. Like everything felt very forced and just very generic, and it was just like this tragedy just happened to happen. Is that?
Yeah, that's fine.
To like these two guys that just had these stories going on that we could tell these stories. It's like I know it was regular, but it was just like I don't know.
There's some movies that are good for. Or some stories good for movies. This just isn't one of them. And I'm sure the story itself is probably tremendous, but it's not. It lacks something, and I just don't know what it is. It's because the event, everything is super dramatic, but the drama just doesn't feel there. If I hadn't lived through this event and watched this movie, would I be like, what the fuck, man? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of events that I didn't live through that I've watched movies for that I'm just like...
Right, like Pearl Harbor.
Sure.
All right, so, okay. Yeah. So, like...
I love that movie, though.
There you go. Like, they've probably created a fictional story.
But I've also seen like real documentaries. It's like when they had film and they had like people doing this and like, they were rolling, like people, and like you can see that shit in documentaries and you can see that shit on TV.
I understand, but like people go to see movies for like stories that
I'm surprised Oliver Stone didn't use a lot more personal films or like cameras or when people are taking pictures or video and this stuff. I'm surprised he didn't use that.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just something I don't know. There's just something for a movie is missing for me.
Sure.
What if it would have just been God, what if it just would have been them trapped? Like nothing else outside of that, but just them trapped in that shit and like just like kind of a devolving into madness type of like thing and just like hallucinating.
The horror of
just
it.
like and
like
none of the other side story, any of that shit, just like what these guys go through.
What that two dudes go through. I mean, dude, that would be harrowing. Because I really can't imagine the what they went through.
Yeah,
to be quite honest.
Give me two different actors though, because I couldn't take the underground
give it a better
stuff.
written story. I think
or more better dialogue.
Something because the actors I think could do it. Like I think Nick Cage, I think he could do it. I think
Not
Michael
with that
Pena could
accent.
have done it. But,
you're right. It was just the writing was not there.
Yeah,
No.
it just lacked something.
Which I looked it up. The person that wrote this also wrote Straight Outta Compton.
I thought you were going to say Conan the Barbarian. I was going to say no.
All right, so another thing we do before we get on to our ratings of the 2006 movie World Trade Center is Tagline. It's where we take the original tagline, which you just find on the movie poster. I don't know what it would be. And Juicebox is going to read that, and then we're going to give you our tagline or what we think it should be. And I want to go ahead and preface this by saying no judgment.
There was a bunch of different taglines. Do we just want to go with the first one?
Just go with the first one.
Yeah.
All right. World Trade Center. The world saw evil that day. Two men saw something else.
Oh, that's the one I saw. Yeah.
Which is a terrible fucking tagline. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. They didn't see something terrible. They saw something in each other. They kept each other alive.
No,
feel like
but it's too long of a tagline.
It's way too long of a tagline. That's not on a movie poster. Old boy, what do you got?
World Trade Center. Alyssa the Pisser.
Yep. All right. So you've already offended it. So I've got.
What I didn't know.
I've got World Trade Center. Two guys, one hole.
All right, that's got to get cut out.
I told you, no judgment zone.
What is Alyssa the Pisser?
It was in the movie.
They were trying to talk about the naming, and
he wanted to name her Alyssa, and Maggie Gyllenhaal goes,
right.
Alyssa
they're
the
going to call
Pisser.
it Alyssa the Pisser. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's so good. All right, I've got one. World Trade Center. Exit through the gift shop.
Jesus. I've got one. World Trade Center.
It's like God made a curtain with the smoke, shielding us from what we're not yet ready to see.
That's good.
Because I wish there was a curtain of smoke in front of this movie for me.
Hey, beautiful line in the movie.
I want to.
It was a great line.
Oh, it was probably the best line in the movie. I do want to bring up though the gift shop quote was that when they showed everybody that had perished or was lost in the World Trade Center,
Yep.
which is complete tragedy. There's this huge wall and it's in the hospital, and then it pans up and it says gift shop, and I'm like, is Oliver Stone saying something here?
Wow.
I mean, he feels the type.
I didn't catch that.
I mean, but he is part of it, right? By making this movie, he's a part of it.
Right.
Yep. All right, let's get on to our ratings for 2006's World Trade Center. I'm going to go first. I know you guys don't like me going first, but I'm going to kind of lead this off because I have a feeling that you guys might go in one direction or another. I've watched this movie 3 times. The first time I watched it, I was like, I hate this. The second time I watched it, I hate this. The third time I watched it, I kind of got it a little
Stockholm
more.
syndrome?
I got the Michael Shannon vibes in this. I got the Maggie Gyllenhaal acting. I hated Nick Cage in this. I hated Michael Pena in this. There are some people that I actually liked. The third time I watched it, not so bad. Gonna give it.
All right, I'm a little tired, a little wired, and I think I deserve a little appreciation.
I mean, Cage, you don't, but the movie, maybe. I would never watch this again, but I'm not happy that I watched it at least once. You guys know how excited I was for this. I said it on so many podcasts leading up to this. I was disappointed but I can't give it the ultimate fuck.
Yeah. Do I? Fuck! This movie sucked. It's not good. It's I don't even think the acting's that great. It just lacks story for this type of event to happen in America and be so pivotal. Like it. I mean, it was the biggest thing that happened in the world, man. And this movie just really lacks. It tries to tell like a really human story, which I can appreciate. It just isn't. It doesn't. It just fell real flat with me as a movie. Because this event, it did a lot. It brought a lot of people together. It did a lot of, it did a lot of good. It also created a forever war on terrorism and the DHS and the Patriot Act and all types of other things. And
the movie created that, or the event created that? Because we're talking about the movie.
I know, but the movie just lacked things for me as a moviegoer, and I just couldn't get behind the movie part of it.
Okay. Juice box?
I will hit it again because, like, I have so many problems with this movie, and it's not telling the story of the people that survived it. Like, that's why I feel bad about, like, saying bad things about it.
Sure.
Because I'm not trying to talk shit about people that survived 9/11 or lived through it or anything like that. I'm just trying to figure out why somebody out there thought Oliver Stone was the person to make this fucking movie.
Yeah.
The guy that made JFK, the guy that made Natural Born Killers, the guy that made all of these fucking, the guy that made Platoon, the guy that made, like, basically
Nixon and W and some
historic things.
Well, yeah. I don't know, man. It doesn't matter. It's a different type of movie. Like it's not like that type of movie is not a fucking tribute to like people that survived something type of movie.
True.
Like that's not his flavor of movie.
That's very true.
And that's why I feel like this is different. Like just did not work for me at all. Like from the get-go, from those first scenes of like showing who these characters were, I was just like, I'm not feeling this. It just got worse and worse and worse. And like you said, like Maggie Gyllenhaal was great. And I agree with that. Like she was like, her and Michael Shannon were like the only thing that kept me going through this movie. You hated the two fucking characters that this movie was about. Like how can like you say that this is like a watchable movie if you hate the two people that are the fucking heroes of this story? Like,
yeah,
I don't know. It was
way
just
too dark too.
It was just, it was. I mean, yeah. I mean, the whole thing was just Nick Cage's face sideways with dirt on it. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it could have been done different ways and been a more like powerful story.
Absolutely,
it's just like
man.
the way it was done. It was just.
Yeah, dude. There is a lot of story that can be told here, but I feel like it's just a missed.
No, they made
thing.
it too much just generic like story.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Just lacks something.
Yeah, they needed to go a certain direction with it. And I don't know what it is because I'm not I'm not a film director.
Right.
So, but I don't know. So, all that to say, like, I'm shitting on the movie a whole lot. I don't think people should watch it. But the sets and like there is some good shit in it. There is some good stuff in it.
You can't hit the fuck button and
no, we can. No, we can.
I'm not defending anything. I'm just saying like I appreciate some things of it, but it was just like as a movie, it sucked. I'm mad that I watched it like as many times as I had to fucking do it for this podcast.
All right, let's find out if we're gonna get mad that we watched the next movie in this series because in 2000
Flight 93.
No, because Nick Cage is averaging 2 movies a year at this point. We are currently into 2006. World Trade Center was number 1. Number 2, which is our next film. That if you want to prepare yourselves, in 2 weeks from now, we are going to release our podcast review of The Wicker Man. The Wicker Man currently sits at a 15% on Rotten Tomatoes and 3.5 out of 10 on IMDb.
I've never seen this movie, and it's like one of the most notorious Nick Cage movies.
I have definitely seen this movie and the original.
I'm excited to see it because I've never seen it either.
What's the original?
It's like a 70s version of called Wicker Man.
Okay.
All right. So thank you guys so much for listening to our episode of Casting Cage this week. We don't know if you watched World Trade Center, but at least if you didn't, you got it from us. And you don't have to go out and see it because it got one of our lowest ratings since we've been doing this.
Yeah. No one should see it. No one should see it. The movie shouldn't even have been made. Like, seriously.
Right.
You shouldn't see it. You should just listen to the Alan Jackson song, Where Were You? Because it might be even as worse or a little bit better than this. Thank you guys for listening wherever you're at. Like, rate, subscribe, tell your friends, like, go out there. We're on here each and every week. You know what? I'm just going to end this thing by letting old boy shout it to the fucking heavens.
Tell your mama and them.